They say contentment is great gain. But what happens when waiting on God feels like waiting forever? What happens when the storm doesn't pass and the blessing seems delayed, while others around you seem to flourish? This is the story of Madame Funke, a woman who started well, but ended somewhere no one could have imagined. Madame Funke was known in her community as a devoted Christian. She didn't play with the things of God. Prayer meetings, evangelism, Sunday services, she was always there. A loving, active, hardworking woman full of wisdom and joy. Everyone admired her. Her life was a testament of what it meant to walk with God. She owned a big shop right at the center of Market Square, a busy, prestigious location where influential women ran million-naira businesses. Even in that competitive environment, Madame Funke stood out. She was honest, her goods were top quality, and her customers came from within and outside the country. Truly, the hand of God was upon her. But then, as life often does, the winds changed. The economy began to fail. Sales slowed down. But for some reason, while others were still making money, including her neighbor, Madame Coco, popularly known as Kini Coco, Funke's shop became a ghost town. No customers, no sales. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and a whole year passed with barely anything to show. She began running into debt. Her shop rent became a burden. Her suppliers stopped trusting her. The once vibrant Madame Funke now looked tired, broken, and bitter. She lost her joy. She nagged, she withdrew from church and started skipping prayer meetings. Her fire for God was slowly dying. Her spiritual father noticed the change and visited her often. He prayed with her, encouraged her, warned her gently. Don't compare yourself with others. Don't envy. Don't compromise your faith. God is still God. He will come through for you. But Madame Funke wasn't listening. Her heart was too focused on what she had lost and what others seemed to gain. One afternoon, she stood outside her empty shop and watched Madame Coco's store bursting with customers. She felt anger rise in her chest. And right there, she made a decision that would change everything. If God won't help me, maybe I should help myself, she whispered. They say heaven helps those who help themselves, right? So, she made up her mind. She would go to Madame Coco, the woman whose shop never lacked. After all, they weren't selling the same goods. Maybe she could share her secret to success. But here's what many didn't know. Madame Coco wasn't an ordinary businesswoman. She was the daughter of a powerful high priest from a nearby village, an open idol worshiper. She didn't hide it. Yet her goods were affordable, high quality, and her shop was always filled. People ignored her beliefs and focused on the business benefits. Even Funke had known the truth for years, but desperation is a dangerous thing. It makes you cross lines you never thought you would. So, she entered Madame Coco's shop. Coco smiled and welcomed her warmly. "What can I do for you, neighbor?" Funke said, without shame, "I want what you have. I need help. I want customers. I want sales. Please show me the way." Coco looked at her and laughed. "You, a child of God? I'm surprised." Funke replied, coldly, "Forget that. All I want is results, sales, success. God will understand. After all, He is merciful." Coco grinned. "Can I trust you to keep secrets? Are you bold enough to go all the way?" Funke nodded quickly. "Yes, anything it takes." "Good," Coco said. "There's no turning back." They fixed a date. same place, same time. Days later, on a quiet Sunday morning when most shops were closed, Madame Funke left her home without telling a soul. She met Madame Coco, and they journeyed far, beyond 5 villages, deep into unknown lands, until they reached a massive, roaring river, like an ocean. Madame Coco began chanting. The water parted like the Red Sea, and they walked in. Beneath the river was another realm, glowing, strange, beautiful, yet terrifying. They entered the underworld. There they were welcomed by a dazzling, fearsome queen. But the moment the queen set eyes on Madame Funke, her face turned to rage. "You!" she screamed. "Why have you come here again? Have you not done enough damage with your prayers?" The spirits gathered, confused and afraid. "This woman is an abomination," the queen thundered. "She carries the mark of Christ on her forehead. Her prayers have killed many of my messengers on earth." Madame Coco fell to the ground, trembling. "I didn't know, I swear, I didn't know she was that powerful." The queen roared, "You've brought death into our camp. She should never have entered here." Then, turning to Funke, she said, "You, with all the power your God has given you, you left it all to come here. You abandoned your faith and stepped into darkness on your own. No one sent you here, not even your God." Then she made her judgment. "There is no mercy in this kingdom. Your God will not save you here. You have denied him. Now you belong to us." Before Funke could speak another word, she was thrown into a cage. A dark, dry pit. No water, no food, no escape. And worst of all, no death. She would suffer in eternal captivity. Forever. Madame Coco returned to the surface. Quiet. No one knew what happened. No one saw them leave together. And so, no one suspected a thing. Back home, Funke's family and church prayed. They searched everywhere. Then, one night, her pastor had a terrible vision of what had happened. He shared it with the family. They cried. They prayed. But it was too late. Madame Funke was gone, and nothing could bring her back. Her shop was cleared, her goods were given to charity, and her story faded into whispers of warning. A woman of God who forgot to trust him, who chose shortcuts over salvation, and paid the price. Let he who has ears hear, and never forget. Be content. Wait on God. Be careful what you wish for, because not every open door is from God, and not every success is worth the soul. If this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more powerful faith-based stories like this one. Until next time, stay faithful, stay strong, stay rooted in Christ.